What's the deal, family? Welcome back to another SOS podcast. I am Cameron. This is my beautiful wife, Erin.
Hello.
What's going on, babe?
Oh, nothing. Just ready to sip this cocktail and see what it's hitting for.
Yeah, I know it's new.
Cheers. What is it?
This is a apple cider spicy margarita.
I'm very scared to try this because it sounds like a lot.
It does sound like a lot, but we're about to see. It has tahini.
I'm honest, so if it's not good, I'm gonna say
I ain't never had this either. I'm like, it's fall time. We love this time of the year, and I'm like, let me throw some apple cider inside of a margarita.
Yeah, let's see.
All right.
It's definitely spicy.
It's spicy for sure.
I gotta take this jalapeno off.
I mess with it.
I like it. I don't think I love the tahini though on the rim with the caramel. That's just too much.
I like how the tahini and caramel tastes too, low key.
I think I would have liked the sugar rim.
Sugar with the margarita?
Like cinnamon sugar or
Cinnamon
something.
sugar?
Since it's apple cider. It's not bad though.
The actual drink.
The actual drink.
Just
But it is spicy.
Too spicy for you?
I wouldn't say it's too spicy for me, but it's definitely got some heat.
So is this drink a success or not?
I think it needs some fine tuning.
All right. This is the first time making it. So we always like make something and then if we need to fine tune it, we do. Audi off. So,
Yeah, I think it needs some fine tuning, but it's a solid start.
all right, cool. I'm gonna make it like tomorrow, like actually make the reel for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, you can make some adjustments.
yeah.
Okay, this or that. I actually haven't really thought of one, but as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, would you rather have a minivan and you have 2 kids, which is how many kids you actually want, or you have to have more than 2 kids in order to unlock getting whatever cars you want?
Oh, we having 3 kids today. That's a no-brainer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
To unlock
So you would really be willing to have more kids just to have more cars?
I said one more kid. You said willing to like 2, but if I had one more, like cool.
So you're willing to have 3 kids?
To unlock having
You
whatever
basically
car
want to
I
have 3 kids.
No, that is not what I'm saying. That is not. That's your girl math. You said
I don't want 3 kids.
I'm saying to unlock something. That's hypothetical, by the way. Regardless, we're not getting a minivan. So there's that.
But if you had to get a minivan, I mean, if you had to have a minivan, if you only wanted 2 kids, you would automatically say, okay, I'll have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
To get whatever cars I want. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not.
So you wouldn't. Okay.
2 kids in the minivan. 3 kids in whatever cars I want. Haha, yes. Let's go.
But you will have to get the number of. You can only have the number of cars of the kids you have. So like, if you wanted 3 kids, you would max out at 3 cars.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
But you're saying minivan at 2 only.
Yeah.
But if
only
I
a
had
minivan.
3 kids, then I can have 1 car per kid. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not having more than 3 kids. That ain't happening.
I better not get another itch for another car.
I just won't be itching. I'd be selling and recycling.
It don't work like that, babe.
No, you can't make rules. You cannot make these rules up as you go. No,
Yes, I can.
No.
You stuck with those 3
No.
cars for eternity.
No, you have to come up with no. No.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, I mean, this one was more for you because I genuinely, I don't want to drive a minivan though. Like I didn't have never pictured myself driving a minivan. Although we did have a Uber.
Oh, that Kia?
Was
it the Kia?
Florida. Yeah, it was the Kia. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
But that was the nicest minivan. That
was a nice minivan.
Like, it didn't look so minivan-ish.
Yeah.
It looked kind of like a SUV, but it was actually a minivan. So that was actually pretty nice. I was like, if I had to get a minivan, it would probably be that one. Very functional as well. Like, they had chargers in the back seat and everything. I was like, okay, Kia.
Hey.
But anyway, okay, so today we're just kind of gonna chit chat, like give a little update and talk kind of about some self-care stuff because obviously we're new parents, or maybe not obvious if you're new here. We just had our baby. She is a month old, and we're kind of trying to get into the swing of things. So how have you been feeling now that we are about a month in? Or over a month in?
How am I feeling like about like being a parent?
Just about the transition from it being just us to us having a child.
I don't think honestly so far I don't really think that it'll feel like just us until we're like out of the newborn stage. But then if we're having another kid, like we'll be in the newborn stage.
What do you mean feel like just us?
When I'm like right now, it's kind of hard to be just us. Versus like when your kids get older,
No,
you
I'm
start.
saying like we went from it just being
I
us.
know. I was trying to. You asked the question.
Okay.
I was trying to explain.
I was just hoping you interpreted my question correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like going from just us to now like in this newborn phase, it's hard to even have that feeling at all. Even though it'll never be just us again,
Mm-hmm.
it's like kind of hard to like get back to that per se, like the actual feeling, just because it's like everything is so rinse and repeat. You're on the baby's time, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're doing good with time, but it's hard to, I guess, have that back to us feeling or us feeling. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm. It's cool. I mean,
What do you mean by the back to us feeling?
Like going from like the freedom to do whatever, whenever, however, whether it's individually or together.
Yeah.
That like just to be able to go on a whim. Now it's kind of like, and thank God for a support system, but like having to ask and getting the routine of asking someone, hey, you want to watch the baby tonight? Like that's going to be for the next at least 13
Foreseeable
years.
future.
Yeah, like however long before a kid can stay at home by themselves. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it's just like, whoa. Like that's a real reality.
Yeah.
So and that's why I said thank God for a support system, because like we have been able to go on a few dates. Like it's not a problem getting a babysitter.
Right.
So I mean they're asking us like, hey, y'all want to go out tonight?
Can y'all
So
please go out?
in that regard,
Please go out of town.
right?
Do something.
Like in that regard, like that it feels like us in that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like our families have made it like easy on us in that way, like giving us like that break time, I guess. But still, we gotta get back home, go maybe pick her up.
It's
Unless
like,
she spends
does she
the
have
night.
enough
It's like,
milk? Does it?
yeah, like you're still thinking about these things. It's like you just added a whole new. This is a responsibility I don't feel like you can't compare to anything else. So it's not even add. It's just a whole new situation.
Yeah, a
Like,
whole new life.
Yeah. So I feel like it's cool. I feel like I'm adjusting to it, but I don't like the newborn phase.
Yeah, you've made that very clear.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. What don't you like about it?
It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
I feel when I say it's not fun, it's like I want to like play with her, like go outside, maybe run around the park. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you can be a baby, but I'm just looking forward to that time.
Yeah.
Now I do enjoy like all the little transitions, her changing every day. Like that stuff is enjoyable, but like the actual taking care part, maybe this is just a dad thing, or maybe it's just a me thing. I'm not gonna make a general statement and say it's just a dad thing, but I'm genuinely looking forward to the walk with the dog. It's not just her on my chest sleep.
Yeah.
Like or you pushing her in the stroller.
Or
you know
just
what I'm
like
saying?
us planning everything around her being sleep. Like nap time.
Nap
it's like,
time is,
okay, we can go because she's sleep. You know, like let's do.
Like we got to go right now because she's going to be asleep for the next 4 or 5 hours.
because when she's up, it's like she wants to eat. She needs to use it. Like we need
all
to
these
change her.
different things.
Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's the rinse and repeat part. It's a joy, but it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if those two words are.
No, I think it makes complete sense.
But you know what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with everything you said. I mean, honestly, I don't think I had any expectations going into parenthood in terms of like the responsibility.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew it was a big responsibility, but you really don't know until you're in it.
Yeah.
And I do think that's why people will impose their experiences on you, because it's just like, you think you're about to
Do
blah
one,
blah
two,
blah
and
blah
three.
blah, like you're not gonna have time for anything. And I do think that that's very easy to slip into, for sure,
For sure.
because it is a lot. And I think I think it's a good thing you don't really know the weight of the responsibility until you're in it, because and then people keep having kids and I'm like, how do you have like
10
more
kids.
than yeah, like how do you have so many kids? Like this is just so much. But I think obviously we're still adjusting, and each phase is going to bring something new and exciting and whatever. But I do think that in this last month and some change, like we've been good about like still having our own time, I guess, slightly. I mean, like today I went and got my nails done. You went and drove your car and went to the mall. I mean, it's like a very short amount of
Yeah.
time, but it's still something. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just need a little bit of space to just like, whew,
Recoup.
Yeah. So how do you feel about just, I don't know, that aspect of it? Like kind of us, how do you think we've been working together in that way to give each other some opportunities, even if it's not a long time, to just kind of like do your thing?
Um, I don't even know how to. Well, to answer the first part of that question, like I think we've been doing a good job with that. But I would say I think we kind of touched on it a little bit last episode, where I feel like instead of even me like trying to get away, like waking up in the morning, like to me now I feel like going to the gym has been like me time,
Mm-hmm.
instead of like I'm just going to the gym because
Mm-hmm.
I need to go to the gym. But now like when I go in the morning, it's just like no, let me get out the way. So by the time I get home, I don't have to count that as me time. But like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like being conscious. So in that way, which you're not, that's not something you're like, yeah, you need to go. No, it's not like that. But I'm doing it because like I feel like, well, I need to come home, and then when they get up, I want them to get up and see that I'm home.
Yeah.
And stuff. You know what I mean? It's like all
Mm-hmm.
these different things that you have to think about. You
Yeah.
know. Now as a result, I feel like it's made me consistent. Again,
Mm-hmm.
because I need to be in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoo, Lord have mercy. So in that, in that regard, I feel like that has made me consistent. So I appreciate that part about it. But I mean, shoot, it took what 3 weeks before I drove my car. Now it's like for me, that's all I need to do. But I had just came off of a great summer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you have this great summer, but then you're used to doing these things every weekend, like going up to the car meetups. You getting that adrenaline rush. I wouldn't say that I'm getting an adrenaline rush from changing a diaper in the middle of the
Whoa,
night
yeah.
and feeding baby. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you go from one extreme to now this is your life for a minute.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like I said, I think we're doing a good job, but it's still at the end of the day, I don't think well, I wouldn't say it doesn't matter how well or how bad a couple I guess work together, because I feel like if this was bad, it would be even worse.
Yeah.
Feeling, which I don't think is a bad feeling for me, but it's just like it's just an adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to put it. Like the adjusting part is the challenge
Yeah.
mentally, not the actual raising the baby, taking care of the baby. It's just like the mental part of it. It's just like, dang, I gotta do 1, 2, and 3, and I had to really think about it the night before. Like, am I gonna get up tomorrow morning to go to the gym?
Mm-hmm.
And
You have
just
to like really set
and
the
blow off
intention.
all the steam from, but like a couple nights ago, she didn't go to sleep until 2. It's no way in the world I'm going to the gym at 5 in the morning. Like I need to be asleep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to function.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm answering these great,
No,
but it's
I
just
think
like
it's
it's
good.
like word
I mean, it's
vomiting.
really
I feel
not
like.
it's really not a set answer. It's just like sharing your experience because I think other new parents, I know there's a lot of people who follow us who are in this phase as well.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not alone,
Right.
like you're not alone. And even for me, like when we first kind of came home, I think it kind of hit me like, oh my gosh, this is actually real. Like when we were at my parents' house, it was kind of like, okay, like, yeah, we got a baby. This is cute. Like, I'm still healing. Like, I was still more so focused on myself than on River. And obviously, like, I was still focused on her, but I was like, I
You had
gotta
the freedom to focus on yourself.
yeah, I had more freedom to focus on myself because we were staying with them and they were pretty much doing everything. So, when we got home, I was just like, oh my gosh. And we went out for a date and I was just like, not really in
that
the
first
mood.
date, you were
Yeah.
not.
I was
like,
just
damn,
like,
this sucks.
not there. And I was just like, I just want to eat and I just want to go back
We
home.
literally, this is the quickest date we've ever had.
I know.
We
I'm like,
literally
check,
got
please.
we got to dinner at 7. I'm talking about like walking into the door at 7.
And we were on our way back by 8.
7:45. We were walking
We're
out the
leaving.
door.
Yeah.
Like that was the quickest date. We got home within the hour.
Yeah. It was very fast.
Yeah.
But then I had just got like really sad and I was just like, ugh.
But you hadn't told me that though.
I hadn't told
Yeah.
Cameron that I was sad. But then I got sad again and I was like, okay, I need to tell him because I don't want to keep getting sad and he doesn't know that I'm sad. And I was just also like, oh gosh, please don't let me have postpartum depression. Like, and I'm just like, I didn't know why I was sad. I just felt sad. And so I ended up telling him and then I just cried for like a while. And then
like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. And I just needed to kind of get it out. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm fine. And then every day he would be like, Erin, are you feeling okay? Like, do you feel sad? Did you feel any sadness today? And I'm like, no. And actually the next day, River's pediatrician came and
asked those questions.
And he asked, he was like, have you been feeling any sadness? And I'm like, actually, yes. And so I think, it's just so much because obviously as the woman, like your hormones are crashing now as after you have had the baby and then like you have this baby and then your body is all like you're healing, but then your body also just doesn't look the same as it did before you were pregnant and
while
like
going back to somewhat of normal.
Yeah. And then you're like trying to take care of the baby and like breastfeeding and this and that. And it's just like so much. And I think it just all kind of hit me at like as when we got home more so. Cause like once we got home, I was starting to feel a little bit better. So then I was starting to do a little bit more. And then we went out for a date and I'm like, dang, we gotta go back home and and we have a child. But it was like, dang, this is different. Like it's not the same. And that's kind of what our conversation was. It was like, you were like, maybe it's because I'm like, I don't think it's coming from anything. I just feel randomly sad. And you're like, okay, let's actually think about this and like try to figure out maybe what it could be stemming from, which I think was helpful. And I feel like now I've gotten to a point where I have accepted that this is our reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like before when I was feeling some sadness, I don't think I had yet accepted like
this is the
new reality,
Yeah.
So, yeah. But like I think overall we're adjusting well I think we're not living in this fairy tale that like, oh my gosh, we have a baby, like, woohoo. Like obviously we love our baby so much, but I think it's also really important to have these conversations because like there is realness when it comes to having a child. Like it is a very big responsibility.
Yeah, I think too I feel like it's from a mental part. I think because we have positivity toward it, it does make things easier, but I feel like a lot of people, when they are giving their unsolicited advice or their opinions on stuff, I can see what they're saying, but I think now that we have a baby, I can see how people either slip into something
Yeah,
and
that's
why
what I
they have
wanted
an
to talk
opinion.
about too. Yeah.
And I can also see how, yeah, I'll just say that. I can see how people slip into a reality that didn't have to be, and now their opinion is what most people's opinion becomes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you really have to, like, for us, we really have to make the conscious effort to prioritize the things that we still want
I
to be
think my
doing.
biggest thing was like a clean house. Everybody is like, "Oh, your house, you can forget it."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "No, this is not."
Yeah.
And mind you, it there are days where I'm like, "Oh, nah, this ain't it." Like Aaron, you gonna have to be locked in with the baby for like a good hour and a half.
Yeah, so
and
I
I'm
can
gonna
get the
clean
house
up
clean. Yeah, which is great. I mean, neither of us can function in
It's so
dysfunction.
yeah, I can't even
And
get up.
our house still, obviously, we have like the baby bottle washer and like more things that are
Yeah.
just kind of around
A
the
part of the
house.
cleaning process.
But it's like our house still looks clean, you know, like it's not stuff everywhere. And she's still a newborn. I know someone's gonna be like, she's still a newborn. Wait until she gets to the toddler phase. But like, that's why we got our basement finished, so that like her stuff can, when she does want to play, like there's a designated place for her to
go
play.
Yeah.
And also just like overall, I think people have good intentions, but for us, like kind of what you were getting at is like making the conscious effort to just maintain the life that you want to have.
Yeah.
You know, like even for recording this podcast, like it's 9:30 on a Tuesday.
No, it's 10:30.
10:30 on a Friday night, and we're sitting here recording a podcast because we're like, no, we got to get this podcast up on Monday. Like, okay, we've had some time, we've taken some weeks off, like, but you know, we just need to carve out the time. While we have it.
It's the, I think, not allowing the new reality to dictate where we're going. I think the goal that we had still has
there.
to be met. And
even more so.
If anything, even more so.
Yeah.
Like, but I can see how people will slip out of that. But I feel like for us, the goal is never going to change.
Yeah.
And now it's even more of a motivation for that not to change. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, to me, it is an adjustment. It does feel different. But I feel like it's just work. Everything is work. If you're willing to work in this life, I feel like you can achieve anything. So if you want to be a good parent, it's work. If you want to have a good career, it's work. If you want to be good at a sport, it's work. Whatever the case may be, it's all work. Like whatever you're doing, whether you're a parent, chef, architect, like it's about how much work you're willing to put to make that thing great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's I will say for a moment, I was like, God dang, I feel like I'm going at 100 miles per hour every single day. Like I would be up early in the morning, going to the gym some days, or if the house is like not where I wanted it, I'm like cleaning up before they get up. Like I feel like kitchen needs to be clean, upstairs need to be clean. Our room is kind of like
our room we're getting there with that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
it's more my fault.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's like all these different things that it's harder, yes, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah,
it's just like it's the same work. You just have to increase the intensity toward it. That's kind of how I've been feeling, to I guess sum up where I'm at with the whole parenting thing, adjusting to this new life.
Yeah.
It's like the intensity has increased, and I think something else has just simply unlocked to get the strength to do all these things at this high rate.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I love it though. I think she's just so worth it, and you know, I'm excited for like everything that's to come.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like we needed to have her when we had her, and we needed her as our child. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Now that you have a girl and you've had a girl, do you still feel the intense desire to have a boy?
No.
No? Because we have a cousin, and he was like, he has 2 girls, and he was like, you're going to be, like, you're going to love it, and, like, you're not even going to really care to have another boy. He wants another kid, and he's like,
I want another.
He's like, I want another girl. Like, they already have 2 girls. So, like, how do you feel about, I mean, obviously, we're not ready to have another kid yet. I would literally have a breakdown.
No, I would cry. Aaron has never seen me cry. I don't even remember the last time I cried. I would cry.
Ooh, I would. Oh my goodness.
I would do whatever the emotion is. It's coming out.
But what do you feel? How are your feelings toward that now?
A boy? I mean, you know, obviously, I still want a boy. I think now that having a kid, I feel like it's giving me a perspective. I think before, and probably for most guys, you say you want a boy, but it's for all the reasons that have nothing to do with raising a child, typically. Especially for me. I will speak for myself. Like, had zero to do with raising a child. Had most to do with, like, oh, I can't wait till they can go play a sport. Or, I don't know, do guy things. Or, you know, whatever. But now having a daughter specifically, I think, or just a child in general, is kind of like, oh, man. This little girl is sweet. Like, she's so cute. Like, like, I don't know. It's, you know, I never, like, I find now this is where I do have fun, have been having fun at. It's like when we went to the store, I was like, oh, I've never been in the baby store. And I went, saw an outfit. I ain't never shop for a girl. It's so hard to shop for a girl. I mean, I can shop for Aaron now. It took a while. But finding clothes and understanding, like, even the baby's size, like, I literally did not understand.
Yeah, because I'm like, girls have way more options in terms of, like,
yeah, the options are endless.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, the fit's about to be crazy. Like, my baby, she about to be up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what has been fun to me for sure. But I think just in general, just having a child, now having an actual perspective of my own, I'm not pressed.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not impressed. I definitely enjoy my baby girl for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Everyone says Cameron gives girl dad vibes.
I don't even know what that means, but.
Because you're so protective. Like, I don't think y'all know how protective Cameron is. First of all, he's surrounded by women. Like, he has a sister. He has obviously his mom, me. Now he has River. But, like, I don't know. You just have this protective nature to you, and, like, kind of this nurturing nature. Like, I feel like through your protection, people feel safe with you. Like, your girls, as he calls us, feel safe with you. And I also think, like, you needed a girl or I would have loved to see you with a girl, even if we didn't have one, because of just how much I have learned from our relationship from being with you. And I feel like that will be passed down to our daughter.
So far, what do you think?
In terms of just her having your perspective. Like, I feel like you will give such an honest but, like, loving but real, like, perspective to her life in terms of how she sees men. Not just, like, a man that she wants to be with, but just men in general, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that, like, obviously it would be nice for you to pass that on to a boy as well. Yeah. But it's something different about a girl getting that perspective from her dad.
For sure.
Because a lot of times men or boys, they kind of learn on their own. They learn from their dads.
That's a
but
whole
like,
nother...
Yeah, but it's just like guys kind of can.
I've learned so much.
Figure things out on their own a little bit differently than women do, and so I can't wait to see, like, you and her as she grows older, and especially when she's like a teenager. I feel like I know me and River will be best friends when we get older. Well, when she gets older, but, like, I think she'll call you like, Dad, okay, so this guy was like, da 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 da. Like, what do you think about this? Or, like, I don't know. I just feel like she's gonna have that type of closeness with you. So yeah, I think that'll be really
That's a
special.
good perspective. Never thought about it like that. I guess our conversations, I do kind of feel like we've had some recent conversations that we probably won't speak about on here at the moment. But do you feel like I've been too? That's the other thing. Like Aaron just said, I'm pretty protective. I have a very strong. I got like a zero tolerance when it comes to my girls. Like I just like I don't really care who you are. If you're like mine, enough said. Do you think I so like in now with a daughter? It's like, whew, I feel like my head is like always on the flame.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, Lord.
do you think I've been from the conversations that we've had surrounding her? Do you think I've been too strong? Is there anything that you don't like that I'm like, no, this is just not happening. I don't care. Like,
No,
Oh, okay, cool. That's all I want to know.
I don't think so. I think your perspective is always valid. I think there are probably things that we will need to like smoothen out a little bit and just like talk through a little bit more that I don't think we can talk through on here.
Yeah, no.
But but I don't ever think that your honest opinion is too much.
Okay, cool.
I feel like there may just need to be some type of middle ground that we'll have to meet.
Are we not at a middle ground right now?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it just
I'm like,
depends
wait.
on
I'm like, what you
depends on
getting
what
at?
the scenario is.
Okay.
And I think some things are just scenario based.
Yeah.
Like we'll have conversations just to like zero you guys in.
Yeah.
We'll have conversations kind of like hypothetical, like they haven't happened or we may anticipate that they will happen. Like we like to have conversations about things that may not have happened yet but are possibilities.
Yeah.
So that way if they do happen, we're not caught off guard.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes we're not always 100% aligned on those
Well,
things.
I think this is the cool part about relationships in general, but like something that me and Aaron are always 99.9% aligned in this life that we live. But there's this 0.1% where she's too optimistic and I'm too realistic with if you take a person and you say, well, this is what they're showing you. This is how they're acting. These are the decisions that they make. I'm not comfortable with that. Point blank, period.
And I'm like,
yeah,
their intentions are X, Y, and Z.
And that's the thing about intentions. Like, I'm not saying that intentions aren't good. My intentions are good. That doesn't mean the person on the other end received it that way.
Yeah.
Like, I may have come off great, but that doesn't mean that they received it in that way. You're like, oh, well, my intentions were great. Okay. I still disagree with how you came off.
Yeah.
No matter how you split it, I don't agree.
I think intentions never matter as much as the actual action.
Yeah.
But I do think that they are always worth consideration.
No, I consider. I think I will say this. There are people where I'm sure they have good intentions.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I agree with how they move.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's enough for me, like, to know that, yeah, I understand you have good intentions, but I just don't trust your moves.
Yeah. And that's fair. So,
and that's what I'm saying. Me, I'm more realistic with that. And you're like, I mean, like, and it's fine. No, it's not fine.
Yeah. But, I mean, for the most part, we see eye to eye on pretty much everything. Which is why sometimes I'm like, are we boring? Because, like, we'll get on here and we'll talk and we'll share things. And I don't ever want it to come across as we're just like this perfect couple.
No, it ain't perfect.
But I also want people to get from our conversations that like you can meet somebody that you are extremely aligned with, or you can have a relationship that is very easygoing, or
and easygoing. I think to describe us is more so like when we make a statement or if we share something, we're actually listening to what each other is saying and actually hearing and understanding what's being said. That doesn't mean that, like we just said, it doesn't mean that every time, oh yeah, like I agree. So in that, I guess, respect, we're not boring.
Right.
But we do agree for the most part. But there are some things where, because she's more optimistic and I'm more realistic, that's the words we like to use, that our disagreements per se come from that. It's not like a real disagreement, but it's a disagreement in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well,
like we're seeing things from different vantage points. Yeah.
And that's kind of like, we also have the understanding,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it's not hard to say that, like,
Yeah.
you do this, I do that. It just is what it is, you know, type of thing. But we work with each other on the things that we know each other is strong about.
Yeah.
And just call it out.
Yeah. So, well, I think things are going to continue to be an adjustment.
For sure.
But I think we'll get into a flow soon.
Yeah, I think we're.
I mean, it's kind of hard to get into a real flow when she's like such a newborn. But once we can get some type of a routine for her and her schedule is a little bit more predictable, then that'll bring us back to us feeling like not necessarily us before we had her, but just like a new version of whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever our life is actually going to look like for the foreseeable future. Because right now it's not going to be. It gets better as time goes. Obviously, when it comes to time.
Yeah.
But my thing that I've been telling Aaron is just like, bro, I cannot imagine. Well, I can imagine because I'm going through it right now. But it's just like to have to go through this newborn phase again. Like, dog. I'm like, this. If I'm comparing it to other people, it's so good. Like,
yeah,
River she's
really good baby.
Perfect. She's the most perfect baby daughter.
Yeah, she really is.
Like, she really does make it easy for me as a person who couldn't see themselves. Well, not say couldn't see themselves, but like I didn't know what I would do with a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's made it very easy to kind of transition. But with all that being said, I still can't,
it's just,
like,
I know.
To go through, like, we're going to get into a routine and then it's going to be time to have another baby.
I know. That's the thing.
That's just like,
but that's what, like, literally everyone, and Cameron, he hates when I say this, but literally everyone says, like, the further away you get from the newborn stage, from birth and everything, like, all of it kind of starts to become more of a blur. Like, now, but he doesn't believe anything until it's our reality. And then once it's our reality, he'll be like, oh, yeah, babe, that, you know, blah, 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 like, that was true, or whatever. He's not going to forget, but I think, like, it won't be as, like, we're in it right now. So it won't be as, like, daunting. Man. So, and then we'll already have experience under our belt. So I think even the next go round, it'll be a whole nother set of challenges. It won't be the newborn phase is the challenge. It'll be, we're going through the newborn phase with a child already, like with a toddler, like you know. So that'll be the thing, and I don't think the actual newborn phase will be the focal point. I think it'll be the fact that we have a kid and we're going through.
Well, I'm calling dibs on. I'll be with River and you can.
Babe, that's jacked up. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, we just, I don't even know. We just.
About he taking River. Dibs on River.
Yeah, this is cool, but I don't know. I think right now, especially with these episodes on the podcast, I don't know. It feels good to kind of like talk about them, in a way. Mm-hmm. And in reality, nothing sucks. This has been great.
Yeah. I
mean, we had the time, like, Aaron's parents are upstairs right now. Her aunt are literally upstairs watching the baby. Yeah. Like, we do have the support. The biggest support system in the world to be able to do what we do best. Mm-hmm. And also just get a break. Yeah. Or, you know, have a cocktail or try new cocktails like we used to do. We were talking about being us again, but it's just, honestly, it's just new us. Yeah. And we're both ready for that, the new us or the new we. Yeah. So yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. You know, this is fun, I guess.
Well, good. Well, let us know what you guys think, if you're parents or new parents or expecting parents. Like, I don't know, weigh in. We'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this.
And dads, tap in, man. I don't know if y'all watch this or not. Or I know we get strong support from our ladies on here.
Yeah.
A lot of moms and stuff like that. But if
Mhm.
you're a dad watching, just I just want to hear what you know, get it off your chest, big dog. With that being said, if you rock with me, then you rock with us. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.